welcome back. In this video, I want to share with you a little bit more about myself. I want to share with you why I decided to be so interested in remote work, why I decided to become a remote work coach. Well, everything started with my why. What's my why? What's my drive? What do I really want to do in my life? I discovered that what I really want to do is to help other people. My mission, if I can call it that way, is to give a contribution, a meaningful contribution to improve the world we live in. That's why I started my career path in academia. That was the drive, that was the main reason. But then I discovered after a few years in academia that wasn't really the path for me. And I started this journey in order to really understand what I wanted to do and how. After I got my certification as a life coach practitioner and as a mindfulness practitioner, I decided to be out there and say, okay, let's try to help other people. But who? At the very beginning, I started identifying myself with the PhD communities and then with the expat community. And it didn't work. I didn't know what to do until I decided to dig a bit deeper. And after that, I discovered that I've been working remotely my entire life for more than 15 years. But I was so into that, it was so natural for me that I didn't see it. I couldn't see myself as a remote worker. Then I decided to investigate the remote work world and to see whether I could meaningfully help other people. This was before Corona hit. I gave it a try, but I was going to be out there, but then I stopped. I said, wait a sec, there is something wrong here. I don't want to make the same mistake that I did with the other two niches. Let me investigate my why a little bit deeper. Why remote work? What is remote work to me? Remote work to me is not just a way to work at home. It's not just another location. No, remote work to me is a lifestyle, is really a way of living. It's much more than a place, another place, a different place to work. Why is it a lifestyle? Well, it's a lifestyle because when you work remotely, you are, as I will say afterwards, you are going to establish meaningful relationships based on trust and respect with people that you will never meet in life, or probably you will probably never meet in life, but maybe you haven't met them yet. You will never meet them. It's totally fine. It's part of the whole remote work experience. There is nothing wrong with it. It's just a different way, a different approach, but it's a very different challenge. It's a big challenge. But I think that if remote work is done properly, then it can be an awesome resource. Why? Because it can really push us to become better people. Why is it so? Why do I think that? Well, because the other main factor that really characterizes remote work is being by yourself. This is the first of the two main factors. The first one is really spending a lot of time by yourself. And you can tell me, yeah, it's really a drawback being so lonely for so long. But is it? Is it really a drawback? In my experience, it's a resource. It's a huge resource. It's an amazing resource. Why? Because when we learn how to deal with ourselves, then we are ready to better deal with other people. So being by yourself is not a curse, it's a bless. It's really a way to improve our skills, to start learning how to listen to ourselves first and then to other people. Remember that whatever kind of process you're going through will always be an inside-out process. If it's meaningful, if it's really going to give you something, then it needs to be from inside out, not the other way around. This is being by yourself a very, very big factor in remote work. The third one is acceptance and belonging. Remote work pushes us to really look for meaningful relationships, to really establish meaningful relationship, first with ourselves and then with other people. By doing so, we learn how to spark and how to bring acceptance and belonging in our life. So you see, remote work has a lot of beneficial factors. Of course, it has also the factor of polluting less, of not commuting and not wasting like 2 hours being stuck in the traffic. Of course, but those are only representations of something that is much deeper. I want to go to something deeper here. The other main factor that remote work brings in your life is that there is no human factor. What I mean with that is that the human communication, the body language that we always have when we sit in the same room is out of the equation now. By human factor, I also mean a smile, a nod, an invitation to grab a coffee together. That's what I mean. There is nothing like that when we work remotely. That's why, because the human factor that is a huge chunk of communication in our daily life is out of the equation, then we have to let something else enter in order to balance the equation. And that something else is a healthy communication, is a healthy and compassionate way to deal with ourselves and with other people, is a healthy way to set boundaries. And that's what you're going to learn in this course. Now, all of this is going to transform you as a remote worker and as a person in general. When you learn how to communicate better, you are going to communicate with everybody much better, not only with your colleagues. In this way, imagine that if you improve, if I improve, if another person improves, what's going to happen? That the environment we live in evolves. And we are going to build a better society, a more compassionate society, a more respectful society, a society where we look for diversity, we look for the amazing benefit that diversity is going to bring to us. We look for exchanging ideas, we look to brainstorm much more than trying to force our ideas onto someone else. In remote work done right, you're going to learn how to establish those open, compassionate, active listening communication channels. In this way, you can go to an online meeting with a very well prepared, healthy mindset, where you look for a brainstorming session, where you look for listening to other people, when you look forward to having feedback. And by doing that, you train yourself, you really shape your mind differently, and you will be able to do exactly the same thing, to have exactly the same approach when you deal with other people in your life. To wrap this video up, I wanted to share with you my why. I want to share with you how I look at remote work. I look at remote work as a lifestyle, and by By looking at it in this way, I see all the amazing resources that remote work has, that in the end will lead us to evolve as human beings and as a society. I hope that we are on the same page here. I really hope that you agree with me at a certain extent. If not, don't worry, because everything will be very, very clear to you in the next sections. Thanks a lot for your attention, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video.